Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for April 2019. Hello to all you Cancer cross-watchers as well. Before we begin, I would like to do a little housekeeping. Firstly, thank you all so much for the tremendous amount of support and positivity that you've been sending my way. I've been overjoyed to hear everyone's stories and to see just the response to these videos. I can't believe the growth that we've experienced on this channel in just 1 month. So thank you so much for that. As always, definitely like and comment down below. It's so important to share your experiences and to share your stories. So thank you so much. I am also making blog posts now for the astrological reports. You can find that in the description down below. It's just very basic transit information that's going to be happening in the month of April. Of course, it's always best to refer to your own natal chart as well and to check the transits there, because that's really where the meat is going to be for you. But if you're just curious to kind of get a general overview of what's happening and what dates to expect what, it's definitely a handy little resource to have. Again, that's down below. I did also have some issues with emailing clients. There was, for a couple of people, it did end up going to their spam folder, and that actually happened to me as well. Excuse me. So if for some reason you didn't get a response from me, definitely check your spam folder. I did respond to all the emails that came in if you were asking about a personal reading. Ooh, I'm sorry. I hope that resolves itself. Anyway, I'm just gonna start shuffling for you guys. What am I doing? No, I'm not. I'm going to first just kind of catch up with the astrological information really quickly, because I think that would be really helpful for your reading. I'm actually not surprised by the number of Cancer and Capricorn views I got last month. We did have Saturn and Pluto conjunct in the sign of Capricorn, so its ruling planet, Saturn, was right on top of Pluto. And when that happens, there's a lot of lessons, there's a lot of heavy transformation and growth. It's not always easy, especially when that's in your opposite sign. That's why it affects you, Cancer. Capricorn is your opposite sign. So this is actually showing up a lot in your relationships, so the way that you relate to people. And that's actually going to be a big theme throughout April as well. We actually kicked off this last Aries season with a Libra full moon, and there is going to be another one, I believe, on April 19th, that's really going to bring the way we show up in relationships to the forefront, or the way Cancer specifically, or not Cancer specifically, but the way that we show up in relationships in general. It's going to be a really interesting time. I almost get the sense, you know, it is Aries season, so there might be a lot of new love that comes in, especially towards the second half of April when Mercury and Venus go into Aries. So, you know, there's definitely a lot of new beginnings, a lot of reinvigorated passion, for sure, that's coming. That's just kind of the springtime energy, right? Love is in the air. And then it goes from that to, like, mating season. So there's definitely going to be a lot of passion, I think, coming for a lot of us. And what else is happening? Mercury went direct on the 28th. This is actually the second time I recorded your video, by the way. The first time it didn't end up saving. I got through the whole thing and I didn't have any more time that night, so I'm sorry that this is coming out late. I'm trusting that this is just all gonna come out when it needs to. I'm gonna be working pretty hard today. But yeah, so that's just something. We're gonna still be in that post-shadow phase until April 7th. There is going to be a lot of catching up from now until then. I honestly almost think it's the worst part of a retrograde, because especially when it's in something watery like Pisces, and with that conjunction with Neptune, there is kind of a murkiness with things. We might not have even realized there was miscommunication or that we had misinformation until after the retrograde, and in this post-shadow phase where we're all catching up and it's like, wait, I thought it was this way. And you're just, it's going to be a lot of comedy of, like a comedy of error type of thing. So I do hope you have your sense of humor about that. I do also see it as a time of finishing up these spiritual and emotional insights and breakthroughs that have been occurring for the month of March. I do see on 7th we have that conjunction with Neptune one last time with Mercury. Mercury conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So there's going to be a lot of, it almost feels like an installation period. I think there's going to be a lot of sudden manifestations. Things you've been working on manifesting in the last month might suddenly come to fruition this month. I see it more, however, as just kind of installing the spiritual downloads that we have been receiving, and that emotional stuff that's been coming up. I feel like there's going to be kind of a resolution there as well, especially in the psyche, especially with like mental health. So that's all I think I'm going to reference for now for this read. I am curious to see what the cards are for you, because a lot of you had a pretty interesting month last month. A lot of you seem to have people come into your life. I know personally, the Cancers, I know that happened to a lot of you guys. So I'm just going to center here really quickly, and I'll start pulling some cards. I was told to shuffle 3 times. There we go. Interesting. I see that you have come into a lot of clarity, Cancer. I have this Ace of Swords here kind of in the mental or communicative part of the reading. I also have the 9 of Wands in reverse and the 7 of Cups in reverse. So with this 9 of Wands in reverse, I do see that in this past energy coming into April, so probably like the last bit of March, or potentially even the very beginning of April as well, there is this feeling beaten, feeling like you had to overcome a lot. And for some of you, it feels like you're having a harder time recovering than you thought you would, but it does seem... I think you're actually better off than you're giving yourself credit for, especially with this Ace of Swords. Things are very clear for you right now. You may have actually had to cut some people off. You may have had to cut off some people from the past as well, some people you had some pretty heavy history with, especially if this was a fire sign who you were once very close with. But I just see that you've felt very tired. You feel exhausted is kind of the energy I'm getting with that 9 of Wands in reverse. With the 7 of Cups in reverse, it does feel like you have this feeling of like you might have missed an opportunity, or you might have just felt like all of your options fell through. There was kind of this moment where, especially during Mercury retrograde, I think you had almost this delusion of like, oh, look at how great everything is. And then all of a sudden, coming out of it, you're sort of seeing what was actually just a dream and what was more realistic, what was more a reality for you. Again, this is not actually a bad thing, really. It might be a little painful, might be a little heavy, a little depressing, but with this Ace of Swords, this is a new beginning. This is some clarity that you needed. This is really good judgment. And that was kind of what was happening for you last month, if I'm not mistaken. There was a lot that was going on emotionally and even physically for you, but mentally you were very clear. And I still see that you were clear throughout that month. And you might even be carrying this out into April as well. I feel like that's the case, but we are going to pull more cards in just a sec. I am going to take a peek at the animal wisdom for you guys as well. What is the animal wisdom for Cancer for the month of April 2019? What is the past energy? Mouse came out. This one has been coming out a lot for the other signs already. Mouse is it's very detail oriented. It's almost a bit fearful. It's always looking out for threats. It's always running away when at the first sign of danger. It's a lot of anxious energy, a lot of nervous energy. It's almost like looking for problems. And I think Cancer, for you, what's really helpful for this energy, especially with this card, is a project that requires a lot of detail or a lot of focus or attention. Especially a creative project would be really good for you. Even if it's just planning out something, even if it's like planning out a story, that's what I've been doing a lot of. It can be a good way to just use that very high mental energy, use this Ace of Swords very well. You can use this to your benefit. Because mentally it seems like you're actually coming in pretty strong still, even if it's been to your detriment a little bit. Sorry, just readjusting. So, yeah, with Mouse, there might also be someone who's trying to be a bit controlling to you as well. And there's kind of the risk of being a bit small minded with your approach to things. Um, so just, yeah, be careful with how you're using your mental energy. Be careful of how you're using this sword that you've been given. I think you can use it as a tool and use it to create something really beautiful. You've definitely had your head in the clouds with the Seven of Cups, so I feel like there has been some fantasizing, some thinking, and engaging with your imagination, and maybe it's time to put that into a creative work as well. So let's see what is coming up for the present. Starting off into April, we have the World in reverse, the Knight of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. So this World in reverse, this is kind of in the physical part of your chart. Some of you who may have been moving or traveling abroad might actually be there may be some delays or cancellations with travel plans. There might be something you thought you were going to be moving forward that doesn't actually end up coming to fruition. There might be some blockages or delays with that, with this card here. Again, that's kind of reminding me of the Mercury post shadow I was talking about earlier. Something you might have been planning during the retrograde might be falling through. I do also see that there is some difficulty moving on from an old cycle still. That is something you're just working on, and that's okay. I think, there's a lot of tarot readers on the internet who are just going to give you all of these positive things that's going to happen to you. And I kind of noticed that on my Capricorn video this month already. It seems like there's much less of a good reception because there was a lot of hard stuff that was coming up. And I don't want to short sell you guys by saying that this is all okay, that this is fine, things are just going to work themselves out. It does take work. And whenever you have a blockage like this, whenever you have an obstacle, it's an opportunity to actually work towards something, to actually heal something in yourself. It's being reflected back at you by your reality. You might be feeling really closed off to the world at the beginning of April. There may also be a need to really keep to yourself, to protect your energy. Although it does seem like with this Knight of Wands kind of at the heart of the reading, you are going to be feeling this Aries season pretty strongly. I feel like this could also potentially be another fire sign. So an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius that's coming into your life, someone who you might fall for very quickly. And again, just that's in the air right now, to be honest. There's a lot of emphasis on relationships. There's a lot of people getting together because it's spring, and I know where I am right now, the weather's getting much nicer, so there's just people who are getting outside, and there's a lot of happy people, and that's making for a lot of flings. And I mean, if that's what you want, that's fine. Be open to that. Um, but just be mindful that the people who are coming into your life, it might be kind of a temporary thing. It might start off hot and heavy, but I think it's so important with this Queen of Wands here for you to be level-headed with your emotions. Don't give too much too quickly, Cancer. But have fun. I think you deserve to have some new fun, some new romance, some new passion, especially after last month. It was a hard month for you. Um, and there is also going to be some retrogrades that are happening later this month as well. There's going to be, I can't believe I didn't mention this earlier. There's going to be retrogrades in the outer planets. So Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto are all going to be retrograding later in this month. I know with Saturn and Pluto, they're going to be retrograding in Capricorn. So again, that's your opposite sign. So there is still going to be a lot of inward reflection on partnerships, especially towards the second half of April. But it does seem like, at least in the beginning of April, there's going to be some real excitement, some real passion, some really good stuff. It could also potentially be with another water sign as well. It could be another Cancer or a Scorpio or a Pisces. Wow, I'm just so slow today. Dial up. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, there could be another water sign that you're communicating with as well, and things are a bit hot and heavy. There might even potentially be someone from a past, from a cycle you thought you closed out, and they are coming back. That still seems to be a thing for you guys, and that's actually not surprising because of the retrograde that's happening in your seventh house, or at least the opposite sign for Cancer. There is going to be people coming back from the past still. That's going to kind of be a theme for a while. There is a lot of healing opportunities that's going to come up for you as well, and a lot of ability to get clarity on things. So if you feel like you didn't have closure with something, you're still going to have quite a bit of opportunity for that, especially later on. But it feels like you're starting off this month raring to go, and there's a lot of good forward movement. So that's nice. I'm gonna see what animal wisdom we have for the start of April for Cancer. What's the animal wisdom for Cancer? Here we go. Hummingbird. Interesting. This kind of also makes me think someone coming in and out really quickly with Hummingbird kind of zipping by. This is also a card that speaks to finding the sweetness in life, extracting the the preciousness from the little things in life. I think that's what this Knight of Wands is really going to be about too. Even if it's just like a short-lived, you know, eruption of passion, enjoy it for what it is. Everything's temporary, everything's momentary. That's very Hummingbird. It's a very light energy. This is a very joyful energy. You're actually coming into a really nice, whatever this world in reverse is, it seems like you're still finding new opportunities. You're still feeling good. This is a good thing. I feel like a lot of you have stripped so much already. Your energy is going to be feeling nice and vibrant by the beginning of April. And you could have also cut out a fixed sign as well. So that could be a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. That's just something that is possible with this world card in reverse. I just, it really actually seems pretty good. Again, it's kind of like the same energy last month. Whatever it is that's happening outside, whatever even happening in your heart, you just mentally are in a good place. Your mindset is still good. And I actually think there is going to be kind of a reward coming your way. A little excitement. So that's fun. Let's see. I did just see the Ace of Cups. I'm going to shuffle a few more times here. What is the second half of April looking like for Cancer? And this is when the retrogrades are going to begin. What is the second half of April going to look like for Cancer? I got 3 cards exactly, so perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So I have the Hierophant in reverse, the 9 of Cups in reverse, and the 3 of Pentacles. So, actually this is interesting. I did just mention Taurus. This is a Taurus card as well. Some of you really might be cutting out a Taurus in the month of April, just something to keep an eye out for, or keep your mind open to. Or you just might be closing things off with this Taurus. I see this more as things just feeling a bit stuck. You might feel a bit weighed down at work or just at home in your daily life, kind of bogged down by routine. I see that there is kind of this need to break out of what you've been doing. It's like the traditional route just isn't working for you anymore. It's kind of weighing you down. You do have this 9 of Cups in reverse as well, so it feels like it's blocking you from manifesting the things you want, blocking your personal achievements and the things that will actually make you happy. It seems like it's being held back. It does seem like there's a real need to change your life, to be totally honest. it's almost like spring cleaning. You really need to shift your life in a big way with this world in reverse and with this Hierophant in reverse, and this is all like in your day-to-day life in that part of your read. It does seem like it would really benefit you to start dropping things and to just switch up your routine to really change things up. um, I do get the sense there might be some disappointment by the end of April, especially if it's involving a Taurus. um, I do feel like there's even the potential for a little sneakiness with this card. I always feel like with this guy, there's just something up his sleeve. It's almost like the shadow of the magician energy, the major arcana magician card. Um, it does feel like someone's not being totally forward and honest with what they want. That could be you or someone else. It could be this Knight of Wands who's kind of rushing in with a lot of passion. Maybe they are looking for kind of a shorter term thing, and that might become clearer. They might not be very forthcoming with that. Um, just be mindful. You know, don't again be this Queen of Cups. Be very patient. Be very level headed with your emotions, and I think you'll just be fine. Just enjoy things. Don't get too heavy. You know, there's a lot of heavy. You have Nine of Wands, the World, and the Hierophant. There's a lot of heavy in your physical life right now, and I think you just need to focus on this emotional reprieve. And you know, maybe you're the one who needs to really go towards the things that is making you passionate. Maybe you need to embody this Knight of Wands energy. It is in the heart of your read, after all, so that does indicate to me that it's really important for you to mix things up, to follow the excitement. I think that would actually bring the most growth for you in April. I'm going to pull just one more animal card for you. What is the animal wisdom for the second half of April for Cancer? Interesting. We have the Black Egg. This is a very big card. This is a spirit card, as indicated by the circle icon above. There are only 7 of these in the deck, so whenever they show up, it's a big energy. And you are getting some major arcana coming through for you as well. The Black Egg actually represents the throat chakra, or Vishuddha, which translates to as especially pure. This tells me that you're really working on expressing yourself, on getting to know your true self. I see potentially a need to write or create. Also, teaching comes up, music, anything that involves the voice will be really impactful for you. I see that there might even be some. I think this is a time to manifest too, actually. Whenever I think of the throat chakra, I think of speaking things out into existence. With this card, it's a message to me that when you practice the art of speaking your truth over and over again, eventually everything you say must become true. When this chakra is really open, everything you say must be true, which means you have a very powerful ability to speak things into existence, to manifest. So working with the law of attraction is going to be really important for you towards the end of the month, especially as you are shifting your physical life. It seems like there is some heaviness, there is some weight that needs to be dropped. There might be some physical movement that needs to happen, but it does feel like you're feeling pretty stuck. I think the way you speak about your experiences, the way you frame your experiences is going to be really important. And with this Black Egg, I look at these black scales. My eye is always drawn into this image of an egg that is darker than night. And any light that touches it does not color it or change it in any way. It's so pure. Its truth is inherent within. No worldly light can change this black egg. So get really in touch with your inner truth. That's going to be a theme towards the end of April, and potentially for a while, with this kind of being in the future, especially being such a karmic laden card. This could really be stuff that you're working on for a while. with this Three of Pentacles as well, I do see that you're going to be working with other people. You might be working, you might be teaching other people something using your voice, something revolving around communication. It's going to be really important for you towards the end of the month. You really are going to be making sure that everyone's on the same page. And I think enlisting help where you can. And being very selective with the people that you bring in. You know, the people who aren't trying to change you. And that is all I am getting for you, Cancer. I do hope that this was helpful. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Definitely comment down below and let me know what is going on. I am also offering personal readings as well. If you're interested in that, you can send me an email or fill out the form on my website. That link is down below as well. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, Cancer.